Okay. So Arnav, can you hear my voice? Arnav, can you hear my voice or not? Okay. So we can wait for 2 to 5 minutes. Let other to join, then we will start it. Today I will discuss the midterm question paper. Okay. The solution of the midterm. Good morning, Viren. So we can wait for 5 minutes. Let other to join, then we will start today's lecture. Okay. Rishikesh, actually it is not in my hand. I have to talk to sir because it's permissions. Okay, I will talk to sir and ask for the permission. Okay. Okay, so we can start the classes. Let me open the notepad then. So I think everyone can see the screen. Okay. So you can see the first question what it is telling. So first question is telling that the selling price of house depends upon the following factors. For example, it depends upon the number of bedroom, number of kitchen, number of bathroom, and the year of the house was built, the square footage of the lot. Given this factor, predict the selling price of the house is an example of which task. So here we can see directly we can see there are the multiple attributes are given. Means what? When we talk here, we have the how many independent variables? We have the first independent variable, that is the number of bedrooms. Number of bedrooms. Then first one, then second one, we have the what, that is the number of kitchens. Number of kitchens. Then we have number of bathrooms. Number of bathrooms. The year the house was built, year, which year it has built, and the square footage, the square also, the area is also given. So when we see there are the multiple data are given. Okay, and on the basis of this, we have to predict the price. Prediction of the price would be there. When we talk about the multi-level, it has only one level. That is the price will be given. Okay, no different class is there. Only one class is there. That is the price. When we talk about the binary classification, it is not a binary classification. So, not it is okay. So it is not the part of classification. Okay, that is the multi-linear classification is there. Okay, so this is what, this is a multi-linear classification, because if the single input is there, that is the linear, and if there's more than one inputs are there, that is the multiple linear classification is there. Okay, everyone is clear with first question? Anyone has any doubt in the first question? Okay, now come to the second question, that is, so what it is telling. Let us consider. Rishikesh, when we talk about the class, whenever we are talking about the classifications, okay, so there will be a some range, one or two or three class are there. But here it is what, it is a price is given. Okay, that is a continuous price has been given. And another thing is that when we talk about the mm, independent data, That is multiple independent data has been also given. When we talk about the linear dependent, linear means what? It is a what you are asking. Okay. So see what I am asking, what I am telling you, we can transform the classification means categorical data into the numerical data. You got this? Whenever we are talking about the classifications that can be converted into the regressions. So it is a type of classification which has been converted to the regression. It makes the continuous data. Yes, we can say that that is the inputted values. So out of this, I am asking you, there are the many options are there. So out of that, which one is the appropriate answer? That is the main question. So based on the, when we see the solutions, based on this, first question fulfill the all the terms. We got Rishikesh? Always remember we have to find the appropriate answer, which will fulfill all the conditions. Okay, so now we can come with the second part, that is it is told that given data apply the linear techniques to predict the 12th week sales. Okay, so what we have to do when we talk about the 12th week, so first we have to find the m. We know when we are linear y is equal to mx plus c. So we will find the value of m, that is what, n into summation of x into y minus summation of x into summation of y by n into summation of x square minus summation of x whole square. This is the m. Then what is c? C is summation of y minus m into summation of x by n. So by this way we can find it. So what terms we have to find it? That is the summation x we have to find, summation y we have to find. Then what we have to find? That is the summation x square we have to find, summation xy we have to find, and n is equal to what? It is 5. So based on this you can calculate it. So when you calculate this value, it will be 0.66. Okay, it will be 0.66. Sorry, m will be 0.66 and the c will be 0.54. Okay, now in this value you can put the data. So 0.66 into 12 plus 0.54. It will be, where is the first question? Wait. So when you calculate this value, it become what? 0.46. Okay. Any doubt is there in the second question? Any doubt? That is simple mathematics calculation is there. Now we come to, the third question. Third question, what is stealing? So in the context of machine learning, what is the term bias and variance trade-off preference? So for the bias and variance, we have to see what one of the most common term is there. Can anyone tell? Anyone? That is the bull eye. So this one is the low variance, high variance. Then we have the high bias and we have the low bias. So when we see this one, when we see this one, when we see this one. So whenever we are talking about low variance, low bias and low variance means what? The data will be here at the center point. Means low bias means what? Y minus y predict should be low. Error should be low. Okay, expectation error should be low. So when all the point will be gathered here, then it will be low. High variance means what? It will be scattered. It will be scattered here like this. High bias and high variance, it is out of range, and it is what it is here. So here also we are talking about the context of machine learning. What is the term of bias and variance trade-off? Okay. So whenever we are talking about the bias, it refers to the error due to assumption in the learning algorithm. So that is what? That is the underfitting. When we are talking about the variance, it is the error due to the more complexity in the model because it learned from the noise. So it is the overfitting. Bias is the underfitting, variance is the overfitting. So we have to see which option is right. So trade-off between the precision and recall in the classification, that is not right. The trade between the number of features and the size of the data set, that is also not right. The trade-off between the number of features and the size of the data set, it is not. The trade-off between the quality of the training data and the test data, that is also not better. That is the last one, the trade-off between the complexity of a model and its ability to generalize. Okay, so this is the most appropriate answer. Why the fourth one is there? To minimize the total error. When we see the option 4, because by the fourth option we can minimize the error. Understood, everyone? So if the model is too simple, it is a high bias and low variance, means it is the underfitting problem. And when it is a complex, it is what? Overfitting problem. Okay, so this one is also clear. Now what is the problem with this? Method which can be used to wait, sorry, I have to see. Which method can be used to handle the missing data in the data set? So remove the entire column with the missing data, that is also right. Ignoring the rows with the missing data during the analysis, that is also right. Missing the data with the mean value of the data, all of the above. By all of these conditions, we can handle the missing data in the data set. Okay, if any data is missing, we can remove the entire column also, ignore the row also, or replace the missing data with the mean value of the column. So the fourth option, that is the all of the above. Okay, so fourth is too simple. Okay, I think everyone can answer it. Then come to the fifth one. Okay, so fifth one we can see what it is telling. Given the two, I think I see the options. Okay, so it is telling that given the two dimension data set consisting of 5 points from the two classes, means two classes are there. That is what two classes are. First one is a circle, and second one is a square. Assume that Euclidean distance is used to measure the distance between the two. The minimum odd value k in the k nearest for which the diamond or diamond shape means that is a square. No, diamond shape, sorry, new data point has been. Data point is assigned the level square is. Okay. So what we have to do? Tell me how you will proceed. So we can see that circle point. What are the circle point? It is 1 comma 2. It is 1 comma 1. What are the square type? That is 2 comma 3. That is 3 comma 3. Another one is 3 comma 2. Now the new point came, that is the diamond. Okay, that is the diamond. So new data. It is the 2 comma 1. So what we have to find? What is the first step? Can anyone tell? What is the first step for this process? Anyone? Yeah, distance, sorting, and majority win. Distance, sorting, and majority win is there. Voting. Average distance. How the average distance? What do you mean by Rishikesh average distance? Rishikesh, what do you mean by average distance? That is the ascending order distance will be there. That is already covered in the sorting. So what we will do? First we will calculate the distance. Then we have to check with what? K is equal to 1. Okay. Then K is equal to 3 and K is equal to 5. Okay. So when you are checking at K is equal to 1, what will happen? Means K is equal to 1 means what? We have to take the 1 data. K is equal to 3, we have to take the 3. First of all, distance, after that sorting will be there. So in the sorting, we have to consider the 1 data. Then on the K is equal to 3, we have to consider the 3 data. So as K is equal to 5, we can see that diamond is classified into the square matrix. Okay, are you clear with this? Everyone, this is an easy process. Okay, so now we can see the 6 questions. Everyone, Okay, so in the sixth question, what if is there? So it is 80, 90, 100, 110 and 120. Consider the two, that is the 80 and 60, and the regression model predicts the value item I6 and it is 75 and 60. Okay, so we have to calculate the relative MSE. What is the formula for relative MSE? Can anyone tell? That is the relative MSE. When we talk about the relative MSE, that is 1 by n summation I is equal to 1 to n, that is yi minus yi cap by yi whole square. So you can put the value. Okay, we can, for the two data we have to calculate, so we have to put the value. Or we can do another thing, another formula is also there. When we talk about the relative MSE, that is the MSE test by variance of y. Okay, so what is the MSE test? Can anyone tell? MSE test. MSE test is equal to 1 by 2 80 minus 75 whole square plus 60 minus 60 whole square. So it will be 1 by 2 into 25 is equal to 12.5. Okay. Now we can see the another one, that is the variance of y, that is actual. So it is 1 by n into summation of I is equal to 1 and yi minus yi cap whole square. Okay. So when you calculate this, it will become 100. No, it will become 200. Sorry, it will become 200. So when it becomes 200, so 12.5 by 200. What is the answer it is coming? Can anyone calculate it? Or directly you can put it. Directly you can put the MSE square, this formula. It will give you the answer. So I think answer is coming 0.09. Okay, everyone is clear with this? This question, everyone is clear? We have to just put the value in the formula and calculate it. That is relative MSE. Okay, everyone is clear with this or not? Now we come to the next question, that is what it is telling. This is logistic regression part. Okay. So in this simply we have to do what? Suppose we are using the logistic regression to predict the probability of a binary outcome. The logistic regression model is this way. So what is the probability of y is equal to 1 and when x is equal to 4 given? Okay. So what we have to do? We have to, that is W naught. So we can simply put the value W naught, it is given -2, W1 it is given minus 0.5 and x is given 4. So calculate the value of z. Z is what? W naught plus W1 x. Okay, so that is the -2 into 0.5 into 4. So it is -2 plus 2 is equal to 0. So it will be 1 plus 1 to the power 0. So it will be 1 by 1 plus 1 is equal to 1 by 2 is equal to 0.5. So answer is 0.5. Okay, so seventh answer is 0.5. Now come to the eighth part. What it is telling. Pick the correct option from the following two statements. Consider a point which is correctly classified and is on the margin. If we remove the point and the decision boundary changes, then it is support vector. Consider a point which is correct classification classified and is on the margin. If we remove the point and decision boundary does not change, then it is not a support vector. Okay. So when we see about that support vector, whenever we are talking about the support vectors, so regarding the support vectors are the critical points. Whenever we are talking support vectors are the critical point, critical data point which lie on the margin, always lie on the margin. So if we remove the support vector, the optimal hyperplane will change because support vectors margin is defined by them only. That's why if the only S1 option will be there. Okay. So in this only S1 is true, S2 is not true. Come to the ninth option. Ninth option, what is saying? What is the purpose of regularization in the linear regression? So it is simple to avoid what? That is the underfitting. Always remember, whenever we are talking about the regularization, it is used only for the remove the underfitting problem. So for the ninth, the option is C. Okay. Now next question. So what is the next? What is the next question? It is telling. Consider the following data set showing the result whether a person has passed or failed the exam passed based on the various factors. Suppose the factors are independent to each other. We want to classify a new instance with the confidence yes, 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 studies yes, and sick is no. Okay. So here we can see we have the total, that is yes. From the data set, first of all, we have to find the prior probability, that is the prior probability. So when the confidence is yes, no, no, yes. Okay. So we have the four records. When we talk about, that is yes, 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 no, no, yes. So what it is, there is the p pass. P pass is equal to 2 by 4 is equal to 0.5, and p phase. Okay, so what is that? That is also 2.4, that is 0.5. So for the pass we can calculate, and for the fail we have to calculate. So finally we can find that pass will come. Okay, so it is an easy problem, you can solve it. So now next one, that is the 11th one. So in 11th one, what is telling? Given the training set below with the Boolean input features x, y, z and the Boolean output u, what would be the probability p u is equal to 0, u when x is 0 and y is equal to 1 and z is equal to 0 after the training of Naya Bayes classification? So what we have to do? So first of all, we have to calculate the pu. Pu is equal to 0. So it is what? It is 3 by 7. Then we have to calculate what? So from those we have to calculate x is equal to 0 and u is equal to 0. That is 2 by 3. P y is equal to 1 and u is equal to 0. That is 1 by 3. P z is equal to 0 and u is equal to 0. That is 1 by 3. So total we can see Pu is equal to 0 when x is equal to 0, y is equal to 1 and z is equal to 0. So what it will be? It will be 3 by 7 into 2 by 3 into 1 by 3 into 1 by 3. It is 2 by 63. Okay, this is what it is. Pu is equal to 0. So it is 2 by 63. Similarly, we can calculate for u is equal to 1. So when we talk about u is equal to 1, it will what? Pu is equal to 1 is equal to 4 by 7, and then we have px is equal to 0, u is equal to 1, it will do 2 by 4 is equal to 1 by 2. Then we have py is equal to 1, u is equal to 1 is equal to 2 by 4 is equal to 1 by 2, and again pz is equal to 0, u is equal to 1, it is 3 by 4. So we can finally calculate u is equal to 1 when x is equal to 0, y is equal to 1 and z is equal to 0 will be given. So it is 4 by 7 into 1 by 2 into 1 by 2 into 3 by 4. So it is coming 3 by 14. Okay. So finally we have to calculate for both. So pu is equal to 0. We have to calculate. So it is 2 by 2 plus 13 by 0.5. So it is 8 by 35 it will come. Understood? That is a simple calculation is there. We have to calculate the probability. Now coming to the 12th one. Now what the 12th one is telling? You are training a SVM model on the data set 2000 samples. After training, you find that 150 support vectors are used in the model. What percentage of the data set are support vectors? Okay, so when we talk about the support vectors, so what is the total? It is support vector by total vector, total samples into 100. So it is 150 by 2000 into 100, that is 7.5%. Okay, so this is the 12th one. Then 13th one. What 13th is telling? 13th is telling now assume we only observe a single input for the each output. That is a set of x and y pair. We would like to compare the following two models on our input dataset. For each one, we split into training and testing set to evaluate the learned model. Assume we have an unlimited amount of data, that is a y is equal to w square x and y is equal to wx. Which of the following statement is correct? There the data set for which w could perform better than a. Okay, so why we can say this option is correct? Because when we see both the models are linear, but difference lies in how many traits the parameter w will be there. So model A, when we talk about the model A, that is y is equal to w square x, the weight is a square. Means that whenever we are talking about the weight is square, the weight is whenever the weight is square, so the model cannot represent the negative slopes. So it always learns a non-negative effect of x on y. Understood what I am telling? Whenever w square x will be there, means that the model cannot learn about the negative slope, because it will be always in the positive slope. Whereas when we talk about the y is equal to wx, means what? The model, the linear model can represent both. What? That is the positive and negative both relationship. Therefore, when we talk about which model is good, so there are the data set for which we would perform better than A. Understood with this concept? So the first option is right. Okay, Manu, I'm telling you what. देखो, जब हम पहला मॉडल की बात करें, when we are talking about the first model, so what will happen in the first model? It is y is equal to w square x is given. Okay, so whenever we are talking about w square x, the model cannot represent the negative slope. Okay, because it is the w square. So it always learn the non-negative effect of x on y. Okay, whereas in the model B we can see y is equal to ws, means what? It can represent both positive and negative relationship. Okay, so for the data set where the true relationship is negative, जहाँ पे true relationship negative होगा, means what? X is increasing then y is decreasing. So in that case, what happened? The model A cannot perform well because it is w square is always greater than or equal to 0. But in the model B, in such case, model B would perform better in linear data. Okay, Abhimanyu, are you clear with this? Abhimanyu. Yeah, because a square cannot handle the negative values, no? Because a square will what? It will make it positive. Okay. Come to the next question, that is this one. So what is telling? Consider a data set of 6 data points. ठीक है? x1, y1, x1, x2, and it will be the x6. Now x1 is 1, 0 in the vector form, x2 is also in the vector form, and the levels are y1, y2, y5 is 1, and y3, y4, y6 is -1. A hard margin support vector machine is featured on the above data set. Which of the following set is possible set of vectors? Okay, so when we talk about when we are training hard SVM, only the data point which is closely separatable, separating the hyperplane, will be the support vector. So when we see this one, when we see the data set, x1 and x2 will be near the origin, point x3, x3 and x4, that is symmetric to s1 and s2. s3 and s4 देखोगे तो वो सिमेट्रिक है s1 and s2 के, and s5 and s6 is always away from the margin, means it is not the support vector. So which one is more close point to the margin? So the close margin to the close margin the close point to the margin is x1, x2, x3 and x4. Okay, are you clear with this? यहाँ पे x1, x2 जो है वो क्लोज है, x3, x4 जो है, x1, x2 क्लोज है मार्जिन के, x3, x4 जो है वो क्या है? इट इज a symmetric of s1, s2, and s3, s5 and s4 क्या है? That is the away point from the origin. Therefore, which is a possible set of support vector, that is x1 to x4. Come to the 15th question. Given the data set K binary value attribute where K is greater than 2 for a class 2 class classification task, the number of parameters to be estimated for the learning a Naya base classifier, that is 2K plus 1. Okay, that is always 2K plus 1. Because when we talk about the binary classification, so we have to estimate the one prior probability, and for the conditional probability we have to for the each feature and each class we have to estimate the probability. So we need one probability per class, and for the k attribute and 2 class it is 2k, so that's why it is 2k plus 1. Okay, so whenever we are talking about total is equal to 2k plus 1, this 2k is showing the features conditionals features conditionals, and one is what? That is the class prior. Okay, now come to the 16th part. Wait a minute. Okay, so 16 is telling PA is equal to 0.3, PB is equal to 0.2, and PBA is equal to 0.4. So probability of P is to A. So what is the from the bias formula? What is the formula for the PAB? PAB. So it is what? It is PBA when what is the probability of B when A is given into PA by PB. Okay, so it is given 0.4 into 0.3 by 0.2. It is 0.6. Okay, wait a minute. Yes, it is a very easy problem. Everyone can solve it. I think this also, when we talk about 17, that is also easy is there. Okay, that is the MAE, we have to find it. So MAE we can easily find. Okay, that is the mean absolute. Okay, so it is y equal to that is sorry MAE is equal to y actual minus y predict का mod. Okay, now we are coming to the 18th one. What 18th one is telling? One more. Hmm. Okay, so 18th one it is telling done on blue light, then off red light and on red highway, and not done is this one. So what we have to find? यहाँ पे दो चीज फाइंड करना है, पी डन फाइंड करना है और पी नॉट डन फाइंड करना है व्हेन एक्स विल बी गिवन। फाइंड करके आप पेस्ट करोगे, जब आप कैलकुलेट कर लोगे तो आपकी वैल्यू जो है 8/9 आएगी पूरे दोनों के लिए। ठीक है, पी डन का फाइंड करना है तो 8/9 आएगा, ये भी इजी है, दैट विल बी इजी कैलकुलेटेड। Then come to the next one, that is the 91. The two phase of decision tree are constructed of a decision tree and reference of a classification. Yes. Okay. That is the general term. Okay. Now come to the 20th one. That is the kernel space. So in the context of support vector SVM, what is the kernel trace? Kernel, that is a higher dimension. Kernel tricks क्या करता है? That is from the lower dimension to the higher dimension. Okay. Then we are coming to the 22 number. Data collected on the two variable x and y, the list square element will be fitted to the data. The y now what is the residual for the 5,6? Okay, so you can easily calculate this one. That is the breakdown it, and you can calculate this. Okay, so we have to calculate the residual value. Now come to the next part, that is what? 22nd. So what it is there? It is 160 only. When you do the recursion part, it is a recursion part is there. So it is 160 only. What is the goal of decision tree? That is to minimize the impurity. What is the last two questions we can see? Okay, y-axis and this one you can given. So you can easily find it. What is the formula for this? What is the formula for this? This part we are doing. This one not. Yeah. So formula is W is equal to it is W is here we can spin W is equal to summation of xi and yi by xi square. So when you calculate this value will come around 0.286. So what is the last option? Newborn baby stay to learn the walking. That is a reinforcement learning part. Okay. So with this, I have discussed all the midterm question papers. Okay. Still, you have any doubt? You can ask. Okay. Are you clear with this? Anyone has any doubt? Anyone? So with this, I am stopping today's class. In the next class, we will see next topic. Okay, thank you.